Matt Williamson with you, and another Steeler game. Fourth quarter, Matt. Here we are in a situation where looked like maybe the Steelers were going to blow them out in the first half. Left a TD on the table to Justin Hunter. Bad interception by Ben, and a kind of a bad TD for the refs. And Steelers going to have a little work to do here for the fourth.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's somewhat amazing that LA can win this game. I mean, there's a lot of time left. I've already go ahead.
Yeah, that holding call. Allie. They get a questionable one on Foster on the last drive, kills that drive, and this one on Allie. I haven't seen it yet, but that you put yourself in a hole here to start this drive. Man, I'll tell you, that was a hold. But Watt and Dupree have been being held like that the whole game.
Oh, absolutely. And the officiating is a little suspect. Clearly, they missed that. Some of the false starts and whatnot at the snaps were insane in the first half. It's amazing, though. Unlike other Steeler losses or troubles, there isn't that many self-inflicted wounds. A bad bounce and a penalty that should have been called. But, Hilton was clearly beat on that play, and obviously the Chargers were driving on their second touchdown. They were moving the ball well. But now they're starting to actually get pass rush for the first time, and Artie Burns is going to be on the field, and they're going to throw at him every time.
Yeah, so listen, hey, if you're here with us on the app, remember, you can join the Fan Line live, the top right corner of the viewing screen. And you can come on face-to-face with us live. If you want to get involved, we haven't had anybody do that the first 2 weeks, but we're ready to go with that technology. It's awesome technology. So you can come in here. And, man, I'll tell you, Matt, we talked about it coming in. Joey Bosa, awfully quiet the first half. But, man, that's a heck of an ask for Filer here. In 3rd and 29, all of a sudden this is a game.
Big time. And, again, I'm sure Rivers is licking his chops to get back on the field. Steelers are stumbling a little bit. That wasn't pretty to McDonald. We got ourselves a game for sure.
Yes, we got a game for sure. So what was your take of the first half? Just overall, how did you feel like the Steelers played?
Extremely well. I thought I told some of my buddies, I'm like, right from the start, I'm like, this looks like one of those AB games where he goes for 185 and 2 touchdowns. There's no answer for him. The protection was unbelievable. Ben made some unbelievable throws and 3 where you scratch your head too, and that's who he is, I think, at this point. It's not a week-to-week thing. I think that's who he is at this point. Very impressed with the defense, especially the run defense, until that last drive. And now here we are. We got ourselves a real game. That's a special team mess up. And what are you talking? Wow.
Punt return for a touchdown. Jordan Berry has 2 bombs in it. A couple good punts tonight. No flag on this play. They're going to go for 2 to be tied here with 12. Oh my goodness!
Unbelievable.
12:50 to go. We're going to have a tie.
You're going to have a tie game. Looks like Hayward Bay didn't break down all that well. Was that a block in the back on Nix? Hard to say. Nice return. King's a good player too. He's a somewhat dangerous return guy, and absolutely the wrong time for that. That's for sure. As well as they've been winning this game, it was a block in the back there. As much as they've been winning this game on a play-by-play basis, as the season showed us, if you screw up a few times, forget about it.
Yeah. So we got somebody on our fan line, Matt. So we got Chris in Ottawa. Chris, what's going on? See if we can get you on here, and you can share the screen with the 2 with our 2 mugs.
Hey, can you guys see me?
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up?
Oh, hey. How's it going?
I'm just I think I'm behind you guys, and I'm just seeing that the punt return. That's not great.
Yeah,
Did David freeze up on you too? All of a sudden,
he froze. Okay, you can still
in the back on that play, but a little bit rough.
Yeah. So, question for you guys.
Sure.
We're 23-21 here, or I guess I don't know. I haven't seen the 2-point attempt yet.
Yep, haven't run it yet for us.
Okay.
No.
What's the game plan then going forward? Do you keep the ball in Ben's hands and you try to spread it out, or I'd like to see a little more out of the backfield with James Conner, especially because he's been productive. I know it's been tough lately getting his head turned around to catch the ball, but Is it?
Yeah, look, they've run a bunch of swing passes and little screens here, but really when they were effective, they were using AB down the sidelines in the middle of the field. I think they're going to have to take some shots to loosen up this the Charger defense. Obviously, the flip side of that is if you're waiting for routes to develop down the field, your offensive line, which has been so good the entire season, has got to do the job. And it looks like Filer right now has his hands full with Bosa.
Yeah, and going into this game, I very much thought it would be a Connor game. I think their defensive tackles – inside linebacker situation are very suspect, that they should be able to run up the middle on them. But if you protect as well as they did in the first half, why not keep throwing? But now protection looks like a problem again. So I'd get back to
great play design here on the 2-point play. If it's coming up for you, watch how the Steelers bring a lot of guys, and the Chargers have a tight end, Keenan Allen, I guess, released late across the formation.
Yeah.
And, we saw Keenan Allen that first 2 drives, 5 catches, 55 yards. He's a handful for the Steelers. Now, look, this is a game that they have clearly been the better team, and they're tied with 12 minutes to go.
David, you ever hear that joke of Will Chamberlain when he scores 100 points and coach kind of looks around, he's like, who's got Wilt? That's Keenan Allen. I mean, he's like the whole show here. I mean, can they do something to take this guy away to some degree?
And he's playing mainly in the slot, right? You'd expect – I mean, Mike Hilton's been nothing but great this year. You'd think maybe line him up, but maybe that's just not the answer either. I mean, they've
moved him, from what I've seen from Allen, he's moved around a lot as usual, and he's a great player, but, man, he is destroying this team, and the rest of the offense isn't doing anything.
Yep. That's look, tweeted beginning of the game. I think Allen's probably the most underrated great receiver in the game. I don't know if he's top 5 or top 10, but he is a great receiver.
Yes.
And, the Steelers aren't surprised by anything that's going on. Things that the routes and the combinations and where they're lining them up aren't things that have been that they haven't seen this year. He's just a good player. And the Steelers did a great job getting pressure on Rivers early and taking everything else away. But they're going to, now it's back in Ben's hands. As you said, we got to, they're going to, get it going, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chris, appreciate you being with us, man.
Yeah,
thanks for checking in.
So what do you think?
All right,
brother?
So, yeah. Micah says Chargers have gotten breaks out of this world. Yeah. Well, we talk about seeds and where the Steelers are going to be. This was a game. Look, you look at these 4 games, Matt, with the Steelers playing. Realistically, if the Steelers came out of this 1-3, it wouldn't be shocking. You can lose. You're going to probably lose New Orleans, and you can clearly lose this game, and you can lose the Patriots game. You'd think you'd hopefully go to Oakland and win. They could come out and go 4-0. I would be shocked if they won in New Orleans. They'll be I would think a 6 or 7 point underdog in that game.
Yeah.
But, you have to win 2 of these games. And you'd like to get this one so that, you're not, if you slip up, you're not staring at New England and New Orleans kind of feeling like they're both must wins.
And, oh, by the way, I mean, if you lose this one, all of a sudden the division is not a sure deal. I mean, Baltimore's playing better. They found somewhat of a formula. They won today. Obviously, Houston, New England, and Kansas City won too. So, I mean, a win just keeps you up. You don't gain anything. In the end, I think this is going to be the first of 2 meetings at Heinz Field between these two. I think round 1 is going to be the same matchup.
So I said to you the first time we did this a couple of weeks ago that I thought the Chargers and the Chiefs were the 2 best teams in the AFC.
Okay.
Who do you think the 2 best teams are in the AFC today?
I'm still not blown away with the Patriots. I mean, I thought their bye was a good time, though, and I think they're going to come out of it a little healthier and they'll figure things out. I think the Steelers are the 2nd best team in the AFC. I mean, I thought they played really well against Denver.
They did play well against Denver. That's the thing is you can't have these games that they continually have where they play well and either, they have this situation where they might lose or you do lose like they did last week. I mean, Vance Joseph's talking about how his defense, their job was to shut Antonio Brown. The other guy goes for what, 13, $189 and a touchdown, and you're patting yourself on the back for shutting down Antonio Brown?
Yeah, Steelers moved the ball well.
Right.
And they have the night for the most part. I mean, that last drive aside, hopefully that's not a sign of things to come, but the execution on a play-by-play basis on both sides of the ball has been really good. If we come back to this game and look at 5 plays while they lost, one of them being a tip ball that Keenan Allen catches for a touchdown or whatever, I mean, you'll kick yourself, but I have a feeling we might.
Right. I mean, again, this is if you're going to be an elite. So for Matt and I chatted for a second before we joined all you guys, and we appreciate you being here on Fourth Quarter Live on FanCred. Tell your friends about it. Is Ben has these games where he has phenomenally good game, like he did last week in Denver, or he'll have a half of a great game. But if you give away 7 points on the Justin Hunter throw, and you throw an ugly pick when you're in on the 22-yard line, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think you can look and say you had a good game. I said, Vance.
Wow.
Vance got to hold on to that.
You're going to go
again.
Protection was great.
Yeah. So, you can't
Rivers
play 60 minutes. They need 60 minutes out of Ben. Let's see where this throw was to McDonald.
I can't tell if the defender if Phillips got a hand in there or not, but
yeah, he got a hand on his arms. I mean, I'll give the defender some credit there. Look, I don't think that goes as a drop. Vance McDonald has dropped some balls, but I don't think that goes as a drop in my book.
No, I don't think so. I'd like to see it again, but no, I don't think so. But again, I'm worried. I bet Rivers is jumping out of his skin to get out on the field, and can't wait to throw the ball at Artie Burns.
Jeez.
Amazing.
All right, let's get we got Andrew in Connecticut on the fan line. Andrew, what's going on? See if we can pop you on here. Look at this technology. Maybe we can pop him on.
There he is.
There he is. All right,
going on, guys?
Hey man, how's it going?
Happy Sunday night.
Yeah, look a little better half hour ago.
Yeah, well, listen, guys. I've been watching the game, and there's something about your guys' special teams that is just not really inspiring me right now, especially given gave up. What is something that you guys, I'm sure that there may be a number of things that you guys think that they can improve on from a special teams perspective. But what do you think is the number one thing that you want them to improve upon?
In special teams, look, I have to say, mixed feelings about Danny Smith. What he's been able to do this year in scheming up punt blocks. I mean, look, I think they've got a hand on at least 2, maybe 3 punts this year, and probably been that close to a couple more. Jordan Berry's been erratic, but I think better in the second half of the season. And I think the kick coverage has been okay. I mean, the shocking thing about special teams is Boswell missing all these extra points.
I know, by the way, you missed one tonight, and it's a tie game. If they lose because of that, right?
Yeah.
But I've got all the confidence in the world in Boz. I don't think Boz is the issue. It's just, they just, guy just had a good return on what looked like a block in the back that wasn't called. So, I mean, I don't know that you can get too down on the Steelers for that particular play. I mean, we'll watch the replay a couple more times later, but just when I saw it live, it looked like Rosie got blocked in the back, and it looked like when they were showing the replay, just as we were getting on the air, that maybe Brian Allen also got blocked in the back. So tough stuff. They talk about outkicking the coverage. It looked like that might have been the case a little bit there.
My only other takes are I'm with David. I have full faith in Boz, but that's been an anomaly, obviously a problem. I think he's a better kicker than what he's seen this year. However, the special teams penalties this year are consistent, and it seems like 50% of the Steelers special teams plays have some sort of penalty, and it's unbelievable. One other note about tonight, and I don't watch special teams tape, so I cheat on this and I go look at Football Outsiders DVOAs, but the Chargers are the worst special teams unit in the league, and last year they were historically bad. An anchor for this team. You got to win that phase in this game.
Yeah.
Did that have to do with they're actually missing kicks?
All the above. I mean, they're like bad at everything, but of course, missing kicks. Yeah, they've gone through so many kickers. Wow, big play here.
Oh, is that a loose ball?
I think so. They blew it dead. How do they blow that dead?
Oh, that was a big hit. That was a big. LJ Fort is the man tonight.
Yes, he is.
By the way, I have been on the LJ Fort bandwagon. I'm going to definitely hurt myself, pat myself on the back here, but I've been on the LJ Fort bandwagon for 2 years now. The most stunning thing. Oh man, that's questionable, right?
I don't know why they blow this dead. I mean, you at least got to. Wow, that's a big time.
Oh, is that a stick? Terrell Edmonds with the stick.
Yeah, they read that play well. I can't believe they're not looking. They're not even making a fuss about this. Oh well. But Ford
Andrew, what's your concern?
You know, it's interesting. I guess I think it's a problem that the Steelers have had for a number of years, where they have the supreme talent on both sides of the ball, all three sides of the ball. But at the same time, I don't feel like they don't dot their I's and don't cross their T's. They don't make the tackle. They may miss one or two that may, bite them at the end. So I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe I'm just over-examining it because they are such a high-profile team and they have been for decades now. But especially with that just recent punt return, it really felt like maybe there were some blocks in the back, but really finishing the play, so you're not relying on what turned out to be two missed calls.
Yeah.
So,
hey, I appreciate the call. And look, you're right. This is a team with the talent that they have. These little things that they keep, screwing up, let teams back in games. And I think the Chargers are a really good football team. And I was really impressed with the Steelers did defensively in that first half, totally shutting down the run. They weren't on the field all that much, but here, we see Cam get moved out of the hole there and 15-yard gains. All of a sudden, win probability now in a tie game with the Chargers at midfield. The Chargers are actually probably very slight favorites to win this game at this point in time.
Oh, I would think so. Along those lines, I think old school Steeler fans, and obviously times have changed so much, but like in the Cowher and Bettis era, when they had a lead, it was over. There was no stumbling. If they had the lead going in the second half, you just 4-minute offense all day long, and they'd run it down their throat. And this team isn't built that way, and the NFL isn't that way anymore. But I can understand why Steeler fans would like more consistency in that regard.
I'm talking with James on the chat. He's talking about Sean Davis's angles, and we've definitely seen some of that this season. Who just ran by that play and missed that tackle?
Yeah, I missed that too. I'm curious. It was bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like 20 or 30. That Cam Sutton's not around. I don't know who that was. But all of a sudden, the Chargers are able to move the ball on the ground here
without much problem either. They're moving the ball, period, without a whole lot of interference. That's for sure. I'm not sure what's going on here with the Steeler D. But give Rivers credit. I think he's amongst the smartest quarterbacks in the league, and making adjustments through the course of a game, learning how the defense is going to play him. And I'm sure there's some of that going on.
Yeah, look, I think you and I are both on the Phillips River career bandwagon.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of being a really quality player who, as I know you said, for years when we were doing the show together, maybe one of the most underrated great players in the history of the game.
Yeah, I absolutely think that. And playing in an absolutely maybe his highest level yet this year. He's an MVP type of guy, and he doesn't look too rattled. He's getting his team moving, a lot of quick stuff, and good tempo that they're playing at too.
I think that's Keenan Allen's 13th catch of the night. The thing about this is this type of passing game. First of all, when guys are making catches like that, there's not much you can do about it.
Allen's having a night.
Holy smoke. You're going to have to get pressure. You're going to have to, the difference in this game right now is the Steelers have batted 3 or 4 passes up in the air or down. Oh, my goodness.
Wow, that's a big hole there.
Oh, my goodness.
And that was some bad tackling, some bad
angles. My goodness.
He's just slalom skiing through guys, not even getting touched. Wow. I want to see that again, but ran through a huge hole. Nobody could step up and get a hand on him. Bad.
How about this, Matt? Steelers have never blown a home lead of 14 points or more in franchise history.
Wow. You know what? They got Marcus Allen in the game. That's a problem there. Who missed the tackle going across? Was that Edmonds that slid out?
That was
Allen's played that poorly. If Allen is active, to me, he's like they're 50.
He's playing time because they didn't dress Cam Sutton and Burnett's injured.
Yeah.
So,
he doesn't
he's out there.
At the stage of his career.
Yep. I don't know if time for Jordan Dangerfield. If another Sean Davis again gets caught.
Yeah.
Gets caught flat-footed.
I still didn't see who slid across there in the totally.
Went to a little replay on my other TV.
There you go. It's hard to see, but I'm assuming it's Edmonds, but I don't know for sure. He played it really poorly. Davis looked really bad. Allen looked really bad. D-line got washed out.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Why is Allen on the field?
I know exactly. Like, you got to be in pretty bad shape.
It was Edmonds who went sliding by on that.
Yeah.
So you got. So tons of, we talked about personnel on the field for the Steelers right now in the defensive backfield. I mean, you got Allen and Edmonds,
Davis and Burns,
and yeah, it's just right now it's not great.
Not great. And I looked at this game as a game where you would play nickel versus base, dime versus 11. And I still think that's the right move, to get speed on the field. They don't have Melvin Gordon. They're probably not going to bludgeon you with a fullback and heavy personnel. Their tight ends aren't great. But now you're putting inferior football players on the field with that strategy.
I mean, yes, all of the above. Right. I'm just trying to figure out. So, this reminds me, if you go back to the Steelers played in Heinz Field now, what would be 8 years ago, and the Steelers played this soft zone coverage, and LeBeau just had his receivers playing off. The Chargers had a beat-up offensive line, and the Steelers, Phillip Rivers is just throwing 8-yard outs all the way down the field. 13-play drives because just get 8 yards every play because the Steelers are playing off. This now, the second half, this is different stuff. I mean, they're gouging them with the run up the middle between the tackles. Now, we saw that happen with Denver and at times with Jacksonville, but we didn't see that in the first half. And Allen's still finding, spots in the zone to get open or even against a man. Yeah,
absolutely. And to the defensive staff's credit, I thought early in the year they were very vanilla, drop to a spot, tackle the ball, don't allow big plays. And, some LeBeau-like stuff. And throughout the last 2 months or so, more man coverage, more variety of defensive personnel, I think more blitzing, certainly different looks, harder to prepare against. But like you said, I mean, they're just getting out-executed right now. I mean, they're getting blown off the ball. They're not tackling well. And as we've seen on these replays, a couple bumps didn't go their way either.
Yeah. And, not to blame the game on the refs, but you don't want to have the refs hurting you as well. So
right.
So what do you do offensively here? Just go back to the game plan you had to open the game. Just kind of mixed bag here, but you're gonna have to throw the ball.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd come out with a little bit heavier personnel and try to run it, and there's plenty of time to do that. But that's not what they're gonna do, obviously. Who do you like? I mean, Juju. I mean, their corner, Davis, is somebody I thought they should have gone after all game, and they have had some success going his way. It looks like AB's night. I wouldn't hesitate, no matter what the coverage is, to lean his direction either. But you wish you had a third guy that was a little more dangerous, and I just don't know where.
Where were you in 1981, Matt?
I was 8.
Yeah, I was in high school, and the last time the Steelers have blown a 16-point lead was November 8th, 1981, when they lost to the Seahawks. They led by 18, and they lost to the Seahawks. Obviously, must have been on the road because they've never blown a 16-point lead at home in franchise history.
Wow. I don't know if they will. I mean, that was a big first down there. Obviously, a crucial drive, but I still feel like it never should have got to this point.
Yeah.
Say that every week, it seems like.
Well, every week we've been together.
Right.
Maybe we're bad luck.
Right. Yeah, we're 3 for 3 on games that are not really bounced the right way. Wow, nice play there.
Well, that is a nice play there.
In defense.
So the numbers at halftime, Matt, the numbers on the season for the 2 Steeler wideouts. So as of halftime, it was AB's over 1,000 now for the season.
Yeah, and he's
so Juju has 81 catches and AB 77. Juju has exactly 100 more yards, 1,091 to 991, and AB has 8 more TDs. Who do you think ends up with more receiving yards on the season with Juju up about 90 right now in the year?
Good question. I'll still go AB just because I think he's an unbelievably special player and is having as good a year as I've ever seen. But early in the year, for some reason, Ben could not complete passes to him. And I really think, too, that just watching coaches tape, he's getting more attention from opposing defenses than ever, which is really saying something. Of course, he always gets doubled. But I mean, without Lev Bell around, it's easier to try to, quote, take him away like Denver said they did last week. But I'll still take him.
I'll take Juju.
All right.
So Artie's asking, it's 4 down territory. It's not yet. I think, but if you get inside the Chargers 40, it is 4 down territory because of where you are in the field, not because of the time.
Yes, I don't want to see any long field goal attempts or any of that nonsense.
No, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think you're bringing balls out unless you've got, 4th and 23 from the 24. I'm not,
Right. I'm not sure what happened on the last play either. I'd like to see this one again, but.
I think he maybe just knew he didn't have him.
I think he was going to throw it to Brown, saw Derwin, got scared, and worm burned it.
Yep.
Derwin's everywhere. Look out. Well done, everybody, for sure. See where they spot this, but
you're clearly going for it.
Got it, yeah. So back to this 4 down territory. Obviously, you're
now for the rest of the drive, it's 4 down territory.
Yeah, right.
Switcher falling down. Well, that's a first down.
I said, you challenge the spot. I hate challenging spots, but
for this at this point, for this in this game, I think you got. The problem is that's not a great angle.
No, right.
Where we saw it, so if it looks like a bad spot.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of challenging spots in general because you rarely seem to win them. But it sure looked like he was ahead of the marker, especially seeing the marker right there on the sideline. They're not going to get this.
4th and a foot. You're definitely going.
Ben sneak.
I would the way he snuck the last one. I'd never have him sneak again the way he snuck the last one.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a reason all these years they didn't.
Hey, if you're with us and you want to get on with this live, we had our first couple guests on with us, Chris and Matt, I think, in Ottawa and in Connecticut.
Yeah.
We've got the fan line in the top right corner of the screen, and you can check it out. So look, if you can't. This is kind of the crazy stuff. This is a tough camera angle, right? So it's hard to tell if he's inside that line, that yard down marker on the sideline. But it sure looks like. Did he make a decision? He's telling him you spotted a bullshit spot. What do you say?
Yeah. I can't believe they can't show us another angle than the one they did, though.
Yeah. Steelers better hope for a better camera angle.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd overturn it with just the one we've seen. Although I do believe that he got the number, that he got the line. So if you lose this, you lose a timeout, but it's not the end of the world, I guess.
Yeah, you're definitely going for it.
You're going for it.
Okay, so let's call it live here. Do you think this was a good challenge by Mike Tomlin?
I feel it's a somewhat unfair question, David, because I got to think there's other camera angles than what NBC just showed us or whoever.
Right, there can't just be one camera, right? I mean, that's why I think it's a good challenge. I'm with you for that reason. I think Greg's not happy with the officiating. Danny said they got a challenge. I agree. I think you challenge that. This is a Sunday night game. They get cameras all over the field. The question is, do you have one from behind him maybe where you can see kind of where he goes down? If he's going down like that, you can have a sense of it. If you have something from over his right shoulder, you should get a very good angle of where he was. But
what's interesting is whoever's in the Steeler booth is probably just watching TV like us. Like they didn't see 5 different angles. They don't get, they don't get all this new technology that we don't have. They're not behind the scenes getting anything extra. So
Well, one of the dumbest things I thought Tomlin said this year was he didn't want to spend the money basically to have somebody on staff for 1.5 plays a game, meaning a challenge or a clock management, stuff like that. I mean, seriously, if you're a $1 billion industry, you can't be worried about spending a little bit of money to have a guy around who, accidentally, we didn't actually have to use him and we paid him $110,000. Someone like me, let's get the numbers right, $200,000. Someone like me, yeah, $200,000. I'm in there. And to get these calls right. But yeah, you're right. Look, I don't know exactly how the feed works with things that they can see in New York, whether the coaches can see that up in the booth. I agree with you. I don't think that's the case.
I can tell you what we did with the Browns was another dude in the scouting staff who's not a coach. He would, if he thought it was worth overturning, he would buzz Butch Davis, and Butch would either say, yeah, Rich will do it or not.
Yeah.
I think that's a first down.
So
I guess they didn't give it to him. So all right. Tomlin just seems like he's rolling his eyes at this one.
He is rolling his eyes, but it's amazing that they didn't have another camera.
Right, we've seen the same one 5 times. You're giving it. Nix isn't even in the game. I mean, their defensive tackles are at a major disadvantage here. I'm running behind DeCastro, and if you can't get this inch, then so be it. All right, first down.
Oh, he got it. Okay, so 5:51. Steelers should start probably playing a little faster.
True. Yeah, that's one of our pet peeves. They don't do that quick enough. Wow, nice job by Switzer there.
Where was he lined up?
In the slot, just crashed down on a linebacker and got a little push there where James was able to sneak behind.
All right.
Oh, no, Ben.
Oh my God.
No, Ben.
Oh, some of these throws.
But meanwhile, that safety, who's at Derwin yet again, of course, looked like he was flat-footed with AB about to run behind him.
Yeah, run by him.
But then he throws with people hanging all over him, and the ball that could have got picked again.
Yeah, it's just
the story is Ben's see?
Right. If you're going to throw it deep down the middle, make sure it's over everybody. Obviously
put the mark on it, but you can run under it. But
it wasn't way over the guy's head.
Oh,
Connor says, "Oh my goodness, he's dead."
Wow.
Oh, he is. Man, he is tough.
He is a tough guy. But for anyone that has not seen Switzer in person, he's smaller than you think. He is tiny, and he got.
Oh man, was that a hit? So there's a flag there. Was that defenseless receiver? Personal foul.
Yep, 15. I want to see it again. That looked clean to me. Oh, it's helmet to helmet.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal. Yeah, that might get a fine.
But yeah, he's getting fined.
So he earned 15 on that one. That was clean to me the first time. So might be without Switzer for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And Hunter's out.
Yeah, what was the fumble last year?
Isn't Hunter out for the game too?
Yeah, Hunter's out. His shoulder injury, so he's done. DHB's had seen a couple plays.
Inactive.
I I would assume also if Hunter's out, he's got he's in concussion pro. They're gonna. Did you see that? How many fingers I got up? That's what he was doing. How many fingers I got? 7.
Did you see too? Ryan's dad is one of the cameramen on the field. Not Hayward Bates' finest moment in terms of ball skills there.
Yeah, someone said a couple of guys, Frank and James, were talking about Tomlin and the frustration of the challenges, and I think he's lost his last 9 challenges or something insane.
Thank you, really.
And would make comments like that, and then they didn't. I don't know what the call was on the fumble on the last series when who was it, Chicolo or Edmonds made the hit. You know, we both thought maybe that made a football move.
Yeah, I thought that was a challengeable one or something to at least look at.
He's got to beat a man here. Connor's. Oh, good job by Connor. Again, going to be same. Oh, give it to him on this one. He's going to get Connor's hurt. Oh my goodness.
Connor's hurt. Oh man, they're running out of skill guys here in a hurry.
Right.
Jeez. I was just about to say, I wouldn't mind at this stage of the game pounding the rock and get some big bodies in there with injured wide receivers, but not with Jalen Samuel.
Connor, Hunter, Switzer.
They don't have much. They don't have much left.
Hayden. Who else did they lose tonight? Anybody else on defense?
I don't know because I've had the volume down for so long. I'm sure that there's more that we don't realize.
Oh, this would be.
This is a game changer.
His ankle or his knee. So hey, listen, if you're with us here and you want to, so some of these guys talking about some of these hits that Switch has taken in the past couple of weeks. If you want to get on, you got the live button on the upper right hand corner. You can join us. We got a little time here with the injury timeout and the Steelers. Again, look, this is a situation for me, Matt, where you got to try and score as fast as possible. Look, they're going to get the ball, whatever. You want to make sure you've got another chance if you don't score here that the game isn't over, and now you've got one less timeout. So,
I wonder if he broke his leg.
Oh God! At least you're going with the conservative option,
right? But that didn't look good. I mean, it wasn't. I wonder if that's like season ender.
Well, they're in trouble. Well, Stephen Ridley becomes important. Okay, so they go back. They've been running these little dump screens. Get 6.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, yeah. Look, they're gonna. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen in the next minute on the clock, minute and a half. So
But if you're the Chargers, you're putting 10 guys on you.
Yeah, so this is a big call here for me.
They might get I'm thinking Derwin's going to be living on McDonald. You're going to put 2 guys basically on AB. Can you move us off the ball and run without a quality back in the game right now? Juju should have a decent matchup though. And Connor's going to the dressing room.
Yeah, it looks like maybe a high ankle sprain on Connor.
Not a real good angle there, but I'd be shocked if we see him again today.
Well, that's Samuels, right? So that was just the last play.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I was looking for the injury.
Yeah, so they what a completely different 30 minutes of football. But just for the record, by the way, people realize the Steelers haven't scored any points this half. And it has been the name of the Steelers season. So many games the Steelers have played one great half and one terrible, really poor half.
Right, and usually they play better at the end, but you had a lot of slow starts to begin the season. They got DHB out there, got Samuels out there. Nice block.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. The fact that he juggled that ball might have actually helped him.
Juju set him up with a nice block. That was a pretty well designed play too. So
TD Jalen Samuels.
So you're hoping. I feel like if you get another possession, you'll be happy. I feel like the Chargers are going to get points here in some way, shape, or form. If you could tell me right now they're only going to get 3, I'd be like, I'll take it.
You're going to kick the extra point here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think this is any question. 4-10's a lot of time. It'll be interesting to see what the Chargers call because, look, that thing started to the left. You wondered where that was going.
Screwball.
Yeah. So
let's see the replay of this.
Away the other guy, but I really think that juggle might have forced. I think he was maybe going to think about turning it up the middle of the field, and it told him to keep going with the ball to the sideline, and that worked out great.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, Ridley was in that play as well.
I mean, yeah.
30-30.
30-30. That's the kind of things you envisioned when they drafted him, but Samuels.
Yeah, it's the one thing about the reason people like to bet the over, Matt, because when it's over, it's over.
It's over, right.
It's been over.
But if I'm a Chargers fan, I'm not shaking in my boots here. I like where I'm standing. It's a lot of time on the clock.
Landon Rivers here. Do you try to run the ball? Do you because if you go 3 and out, you're in real trouble.
For sure. But I would be aggressive. I would throw. I'd trust my quarterback. I mean, keep Ekeler around as a dump-off type option. Certainly try to feature Keenan. Certainly look Burns' way with regularity, no matter who he's on.
Yep.
I mean, it's hard to hide a corner. Oh, they're showing the Ben missing Hunter.
Jesus. I mean, what is Sean? It's one of those things. You put your head down, then everything's going so fast, you don't know what you're going to hit. But
right,
you got to kind of be knowing where the ball is.
And what's crazy is that they showed those 3 plays, and even after the third one happened, I thought Steelers are the better team. They're destroying these guys. It'll be fine. But that's not really how the NFL works. Nice work by Fort, though, keeping up with Allen.
He got a break there, didn't he? Tackle him?
Yeah, that was questionable. Let's see this again. Nah, I don't know that I would call that.
Nice job, LJ. My man, LJ.
He's an athlete.
Well, it goes back to what I keep saying about last year. I just can't believe that they didn't play him over. They brought Sean Spence in and with LJ Fort on the roster, knowing he could at least run. It's just one of the more
Ben here.
All the things I think about, that I like about Colbert and Tomlin. I was like, that's like the biggest mistake. I think they need to get a stop.
Yeah, I thought they were going to need a sack there. Nice work by Rivers just to shuffle his feet just a little, dump it to the right guy.
Yeah, so, 3 timeouts for the Chargers. Look, and a hand on him and a guy hit, man, half a second. It's all the difference.
Yeah, this right tackle for L.A. is bad, man.
Is that the kid Vila? What's his name?
Yeah, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he's a replacement guy.
Both. Yeah. So, all right, let's see. So they got Tuitt and Cam in there. Dupree. See who comes in the middle. See, I think if you're the Steelers, you are loving those calls. The run on first down
all day long, right? I mean, it's not like it's the part of the field where they can start eating clock, knowing that they're in field goal range. Yeah.
So, do you know where Ekeler went to school?
Where did Ekeler go to school? I forget. He's been good this year, though.
I know.
Yeah, he's been real good. Gordon's been great. I mean, I think they're a different type of team.
Western Colorado, does that sound right? Yeah, Western Colorado.
Yeah, that is it.
Yeah,
he's a high quality player. I don't know if he's a workhorse.
Two guys, Lindsey last week and
Keenan Allen yet again.
Hayden's back in there.
Hayden's back in. Is that what you said?
Yep.
I knew the game plan coming in was to have Hayden on Mike Williams a high percentage of the time and try to help Hilton or whomever with Allen. It looks like Hayden is now lining up over Allen to the bottom of the field here.
Yeah, came over and followed him over here.
I mean, he's
going to run it down a 2-minute warning, isn't he?
Yep.
Now, because now the whole thing has changed. Now for the Chargers, now you just want to run the clock down and try to win with a field goal or a touchdown.
They don't want Steelers to get the ball again. Is the bottom line. So it's on the D. Right. Got a ways to go, though. I mean, this is
25 yards. Good field, right?
Yeah. I guess this is a strategy I would take too if I was Chargers head coach. I don't want to trust my defense to win it. I would think that if I'm in charge of the Chargers.
Right.
Right.
But I think they're in a situation here where, this is, when the Steelers had the ball, this was Todd Haley's thing, which I actually didn't mind. Like late in the half, if they had, say, a minute 40 left in the first half and they get the ball on their own 15, on first down, they'd always run that wraparound draw, a little bit like they did at the end of the first half. It was just a straight run play with Connor where he got those 20 yards. But the point being is if you get nothing, okay, then the other team's going to have to be aggressive and use the timeout, which they probably won't do. And so clock's going to –
Nope, I think we lost.
if the Chargers run on first down.
You broke up there for a minute. Did you say you would not be surprised if they ran on first down?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they run here on first down just because that they're not really time constrained. They can manage it. They've got all their timeouts.
Right. The clock is not their enemy.
Yeah.
And if they can get an easy 8 yards, that's not a problem for them. I mean, they'll take that, I would think.
Yeah.
With a running play. And Eckler could break a big one. I mean, he's a dangerous guy. No, I think you're right. I think we will do it.
Is he checking?
There he is.
The Chargers wanted.
Yeah. Just what you call it. I mean, it's basically like the wraparound draw move, pick up 8 to 11-ish. Wow. Clock's ticking.
Run the ball, run clock, and gain yards.
Game. Yeah.
Perfect.
No, they're in good shape. I mean, I like the Chargers' chances here. I almost feel like the defense has to make a big play to get out of this. Although an interesting point here is their field goal kicking is horrible, and their special teams are terrible. And I don't know. The more I think about this, you're showing some faith in a bad kicker on the road by playing it this way.
So the Steelers called timeout.
I think so.
So now I'm with you. So Matt, I think everything that they did up to here is right because do I have you still? Your screen popped off. But I like what they did because they forced the Steelers to use the timeout. That hurts them if they do get the ball back. Mm-hmm. Now, if I'm the Chargers, now I do throw the ball. These two plays, you got to get inside. I would say if I'm a coach, I think anything outside of 40 yards, I'm not banking on. So I want to get my the kick to be 40 yards or less. Yeah. So you got to get to the 20 to 25 inside the 25.
And the beauty of it is you can use the middle of the field. You don't have to throw sideline passes. You can use whatever you want. You can
have all your time out of hand. That's good for the Steelers there.
Yeah, you stop the clock. It wasn't a massive gain. I kind of look at that play like it was a draw. It didn't kill the Chargers, that's for sure. But if I'm an LA Charger fan sitting there, I'm going, why? Don't play it like this. Don't trust that kicker. Drive the ball down the field. That kicker's no good. We've lost so many games banking on the kicker. Big play here. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
It nearly got to Rivers. He got it out of his hand just in time as usual. Hits Allen as usual. So this is
going to have a field goal in the game.
Yeah, this is going to come down if their kicker can make a kick. Boy, Hargrave just whipped Pouncey on that. No answer for Keenan Allen, that's for sure.
I tweeted literally after the first play of the game, got to pay attention to Keenan Allen. Oh, good job by Rivers. That guy turns around and loses 5 yards there. That's a death sentence.
That's a death sentence, right. They almost had him, too. Nice run. So you running one more here?
Yeah, good question. I think they're going to figure that out, right?
I would imagine they run the ball one more time. Or maybe get it on the hash mark their kicker likes, or one of those type of deals.
Yep.
So if this goes to overtime, who do you like? I like the Chargers.
Whoever gets the ball.
Yeah,
Ball.
I think the Chargers are playing better football in the second half. So they're going to run a play, and we'll see if a no-name kicker can make his mark in a tough environment on the road.
Man, if you're a Charger fan, you're hating life that's what you're looking at, but because you've just watched this go against you so many times.
Right. And you're probably saying bad words to their coaching staff right now. Let Rivers try to win it for you. But, I mean, there's a better than 50% chance.
Hit 7-yarder, man.
Right. I mean, even if this guy's not a great kicker, there's a much better than 50% chance he makes it.
Yeah.
We shall see. Michael Bagley.
Well, the Ravens are 7-5. Everything went the Steelers' way for the 2 weeks prior. When they're coming off the bye and the Jacksonville week, all the out-of-town games, the Steelers games, everything went their way. Past 2 weeks, nothing going their way.
No, you're right. Everybody winning.
Oh, the kid choked it. Oh, my God, the kid choked it.
Wow.
I think he choked it.
That is so Chargers. That is unbelievably Chargers. Oh, no. What's the flag on?
Oh, my God, they called offsides on the Steelers.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh, Matt. They're going to tear the stadium down.
Right, Joe Hayden jumped off sides. Wow. Well, see if he can make it this. Oh, man.
Well, it wasn't Hayden.
It wasn't Hayden, right. I'd like to see who was offsides, especially considering some of the things that weren't called in the first half. With false starts and wow. No, move him a little closer.
That is well,
that was
he's
clearly
offside. I mean, he's 5 steps offside.
He's 5 steps, yeah. Are they just going to keep doing that?
What's Anthony Lynn going crazy about?
I
didn't think they saw it. He's worried they didn't see it.
Right. Yeah, that was.
They hit Artie right in the face.
Clearly outside. Right. Right in the face. Yep.
Right in the face.
I'll just keep inching closer. Wow, right in the face. You thought they got away with that?
What is that flag on that one? Boy. I mean, this is insane.
This is insane, yeah.
I want to see that first offside again, though, because Hayden wasn't offside.
It was definitely not Hayden.
Could have been offside, but it wasn't him.
No question. Yeah, Hayden was not offside on that play. Maybe somebody did, but.
Well, we'll stick around for a couple minutes after the game to recap, and if you guys want to, one of you two, you want to jump on with us or get on the chat line with us in the box with the down low. Oh my God, he jumped by it. He jumped by it.
Through him.
How did it? Oh my God.
How did he not block that?
Oh my God.
Boy, talk radio is going to be going insane this week. How does he not block this?
It went over him. He went past it.
That's a terrible football play by him. Look at the great jump he gets, and he goes like below it.
He took too flat an angle.
Yeah. All you got to do is be big there. He was unblocked off the edge and went too flat. Wow. What a game.
Wow. So Matt, what's the takeaway from the game? How do you look at Ben Roethlisberger's performance?
Well, the biggest takeaway of the game for me is it doesn't affirm, but it sure makes it highly, highly likely that we see these guys in the wild card game, same place, 4 versus 5. The Steelers are not getting a bye. I thought Steelers are not getting a bye. Right. They're going to be the 4 seed or they're going to be the 6 seed if Baltimore catches them, which I don't think is the case.
They're the 4 seed or the 6 seed. And Houston's now got him, and the Pats have them, so they're done. So the Steelers are now going to be the 4th or 6th seed.
And the Chargers are going to be the 5 seed.
Right, no doubt.
No doubt. So, in a way, the rest of the season isn't that important. It is, of course. You want to see them play good football, and you want to see them win the division still. But I don't think there's a lot of variance to wins and losses for these next couple games.
Right. They need to win a game. They need to win a game.
Yeah, they need to win a game. Yeah, the way they're playing right now, they need to win a game. They do. But they suffered a lot of injuries. They were clearly the better team in the first half. They were clearly the inferior team in the second half. You can look at some bounces and some things that you shouldn't allow, but, Ben's got to hit Hunter wide open, and, you got to put these guys away when you have the
interception was terrible. Yeah, the interception was a bad one too. I mean, those are two drives that are on Ben. I'm trying to remember I have to look at the play-by-play. I'll pull it up here. We'll talk for a minute. But the drive where he missed Hunter, is that also the drive with the interception?
That's a good question. I'm glad you're pulling it up because I don't know. But I felt like if he hit Hunter there.
Yeah. So from the 48, short left to Justin Hunter. Yep, we had that one, and then no. So it wasn't that. So let's see. I think it was the next possession, 3 plays, or let's see.
But once again,
yeah. So it was a drive. They got a field goal out of it. So they got a field goal out of the drive. So they left 4 points on the table there. And they left, 3, at least 3 on the interception with the law of interception. But that 4-play drive was missed Hunter on the first play. Connor got 4 yards to the 34. Missed Vance McDonald. Connor's got 4 yards to the 30. Missed Vance McDonald over the middle. And then Boz hit the 48-yarder. So, yeah, that was a first down on the Charger 34. You remember? I hate to call. I know. You're watching every game in the league every week. Do you remember that play a couple of years ago when he hit Darius Hayward-Bay on a cross like that? Where I think it was against the Browns, where the defense, or maybe it was the Dolphins, the defense just completely missed the whole field like that, and all he had to do was throw it up in the air, and he did. He hit the pass. This was the exact same play, and obviously he missed the pass.
Again, they lost the turnover battle. I mean, hard to win in the league when you lose a turnover battle against a team that's basically your equal. The Chargers got a few bounces, that's for sure, and maybe a call or two. But, man, I mean, you got to be cleaner.
Yeah, final numbers for those still with us. First downs, the Steelers had 23, the Chargers 22. Steelers ran 63 plays to the Chargers 60. Total yards, Steelers 336, Chargers 371. And what's going to surprise you there probably is the Chargers had 85 yards rushing. They had 2 at halftime. The Steelers finished with 65 yards rushing, 26 of 36 for Rivers, 29 of 45 for Ben. You mentioned the interception. Steelers only got 1 sack. They had a lot of pressure on Rivers, but they didn't bring him down. And Rivers, stood well in the pocket. And You can hear him now on the television and on NFL Network, I'm sure, tonight. And 2 for 13. They sacked Ben twice. 7 penalties for the Steelers, 59 yards, 5 for the Chargers, and 80 yards. Time of possession about even. This is a tough loss, Matt. But but as you've said, look, this team can play with anybody. They just need to put 60 minutes together, and they haven't been able to do that.
That's 100% true, especially the last couple of weeks. It's getting very frustrating. One note that you mentioned, I thought the pass rush was very good, and it reminds me of the Denver game where Keenum, Rivers, both just had a lot of nice subtle movements around the pocket, couldn't finish on sacks, and end up being pressures that turned into third down conversions and quality plays by the Chargers. Some of that's just really good quarterbacking. I mean, that's what Rivers been doing for years, but that was a factor.
Yep. So a couple comments. Greg saying arrow pointing down on the Steelers. Difficult to be optimistic with the tough schedule. Yeah, there's some truth to that. Jonathan talking about Sean Davis's lack of ball awareness, a big thing. Danny says, maybe the coaching's the difference. Look, they're going to look at everything again. Haven't done it 60 minutes all year. They definitely haven't. 174-0-1 at home all time with a 16-point lead. And, yeah, certainly they can lose the division. Ethan's talking about Baltimore catching them, and we'll see. I would assume, Matt, if you're John Harbaugh, you're not changing quarterbacks if Flacco's healthy.
Yeah,
Jackson's your quarterback.
And
right?
not that he's even been great, but you're putting some mojo together. You're planning for the future. Yeah. Things are going well. I don't think they make that change. I don't think we see Flacco again. I mean, they may even put RG3 in. Like we saw him a little.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, Matt, always fun, and it was a lot more fun. It was a lot more fun before we started talking than after we started talking. We've watched 3 games go right down to the wire, literally down to the last play. Last play in Denver just about last week. Jacksonville was the last play. I mean, we're the cardiac hosts
next week
on 4th of July.
Better tune in next week.
All right. Well, listen. Thank all you guys for joining us. Obviously, the Steelers are out in the Bay, going into the black hole, taking on the Raiders, and it'll be I think it's a 4:25 start. So we'll probably be getting with you sometime around 6:45 Eastern time if you're with us. So thanks so much. Leave us some comments. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. And, we'll keep trying to make this better as we move forward. Love the fact that a couple of you guys got on with us, and we'll be looking forward to doing more of that going forward as well. So have a good night. Tough loss for the Steelers. We'll be back with you next week.